Hi, Greg. A very fine second half, but that first half defensively just seemed to be a mess. Your thoughts on each half?
Yeah, the first half was embarrassing in terms of. I actually thought we got off to a decent start for the first 10 minutes or so, and then we commit a silly penalty kick. It's just clumsy, and then I think off the kickoff in less than 60 seconds we give a second one back, which is the second game in a row that we've given up a goal in like 2 goals back to back in less than 2 minutes, which is. Yeah, it's unacceptable. It's embarrassing, and it digs a hole for ourselves that makes the game very difficult. And that was the first half. Again, on some of the defending stuff, we needed a little bit more midfielder support to our forwards. Our midfielders were sitting too low and too deep, and our forwards who needed to step out and get pressure. Didn't get the support from our midfielders, and then our two forwards were unable to get pressure and were chasing it around, so we don't really dictate the game very well. We changed that at halftime, and certainly we dictated the game much better. The second half response was excellent. I mean, the part of that we have to take away from it is when we played with the right intensity, we played with the right intention, we moved together. We created enough chances in this game to get ourselves back into it and to see something out of it, and that's a positive, and we need to build off of that. But again, I said this to the guys, there's too many of these discussions, especially at home, where we're talking about getting ourselves behind, and then we have a great response, but the response hasn't been good enough, and so yeah, we're seeking just that reliability from each guy as we step onto the field and we play every game, because that's what professionalism is about, and we need that. We can't just make mistakes. It's not acceptable anymore, and mistakes are putting the team in a hole and making it very difficult to dig ourselves out.
Midfield with not enough support for the forward line, there also seemed to be spaces in behind that they were able to exploit pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean it's an issue when you don't get pressure to the ball and guys survive in between your lines and get to face forward, then your back line is vulnerable. And then it's a decision from our back line to have to drop in those moments and just protect themselves. It was too easy to get between our lines and to get guys on the ball facing forward, and then they were just breaking into the depth, and we were still tracking guys in midfield. Guys, we weren't we weren't reading the situations, and it starts with just getting pressure on the ball and making things clear so that the solutions for our back line are better. But our back line also has to read when the solutions aren't clear, that they just need to drop and protect the space behind them and deal with the situation and keep it in front of you. And neither of those two things existed on a consistent basis in the first half, and that's how you give up chances and goals.
Just watching it live and then watching the replay, it seemed pretty clear that it was a penalty when Edwards had a arm thrust into his neck in the box. What did the referee, the fourth, anyone tell you?
Honestly, Scott, I'm so beyond talking about the refereeing. I honestly don't understand the game anymore when it comes to fouls and not fouls and things like that. I honestly I've lost trying to deal with that. For me, it's dealing with our team, and I got to deal with our team, because if I try to get into dealing with understanding referees' calls and no calls, I end up spending energy on things that ultimately aren't going to change. It's been going on for a long time, and it isn't going to change. And so I'm done writing letters and talking to people and getting apologies after. Not even apologies, because nobody apologizes, but getting explanations after and all that kind of stuff. I'm done. I don't need that. I need to focus on our team, and our team needs to focus on ourselves and the things that we need to do, because we gave up goals, our own fault in this game, and that's unacceptable.
Greg, what are some of the things that you talked to the players at halftime that they changed so much in the second half?
Well, outside of just the silly mistakes and the poor play, like I said, one of the things was we needed to be more proactive in our step out defending. I felt like we could impose ourselves on them. We could create more transitions for ourselves. We could win balls in better positions. We could eliminate some of their longer possessions if we got the right support, if our forwards released off of their midfielders, if our midfielder would release, because they only had one guy high. It was two guys high, but one midfielder high, and that was Montero. So we don't need two defenders defending one attacking midfielder and two defenders defending one striker. We have to support the forwards, who now, when the forwards release to get pressure to the ball, one of our midfielders has to step to take their pivot in that situation, and we can start to really dictate the play and keep things on a side and make it predictable. And we have enough numbers behind that pressure to deal with whatever they have forward. We had to solve that, because if we didn't solve that, we were never going to touch the ball. And so that was the first thing we needed to solve. And if you can solve that, then you can win balls in positive positions to try to start attacks from better areas of the field and try to use that momentum to build speed into the attack and get forward and catch them when they're spread out in their possession or whatever. And so that was, for me, the primary thing that we had to figure out. And then take away just the silly mistakes and just concentrate and do the right things. But the second we could make clear that we were going to get pressure to the ball, I felt like everybody got a little more comfortable and got a little bit more certain about their duels, and it became clear, and we started to take control of the game. We started to create chances. We started to build the momentum that I think is what this team should be about. But in the first half, we didn't get there, and and then we gave up the early goals we didn't allow, which just meant that we were fighting our way back from for the whole second half.
Did tonight's performance show you how valuable or essential Mark Delgado is to the squad?
Yeah, I knew Mark Delgado. The fact that Mark Delgado is not an all-star to me is crazy. He's one of the best midfielders in this league this season. You can see it statistically, and you can see it in his performance. He is a machine. He does the work of two guys. He reads plays. He closes things out. We certainly missed Mark. I think he's been the engine of our team this year. And so certainly we missed him. Unfortunate situation. It came up yesterday morning, so we missed him. That's one of the reasons why I think we have to bring in another midfielder, which is we're doing, because I think we're very reliant on Mark, and obviously Ryan gave us a good engine and some good work today, but I think Mark's ability to read and recognize and move people and do all that kind of stuff is special for our group, and so we missed him. I think Mark steps in the first half and he starts to get onto that support because he understands that, and so I think we missed it, and it is. But I think that's an area where we can continue to get better and get stronger in that midfield, which will help our team, because I think when we win the midfield, we are a good team and we can create some serious chances. We miss Mark.
We'll now go to Zoom. We'll take a question from Damian Calhoun.
Hey, Greg. Just want to get you're 19 games in of the season. How concerned are you that you got the team is still making the same early mistakes? You're getting punished early on. You concerned that this what this team is going to be? It's a team that has to somehow overcome early mistakes. Yeah,
I don't know if concerned or pissed off or frustrated or what the right word is, but it's got to stop. If guys are consistently guys that are making mistakes, they won't play. So it's now a situation where we're in the second half of the season, and as I said to the guys, it's about reliability. You step on the field and you play to your level, and you do right things and you make good decisions, and you've got to be reliable for the group. And so that's where we're at. I don't know if I'd say I'm concerned. I'm certainly frustrated with it and angry about it, and we'll find the solution. There's going to be a solution, and we're going to build off of that solution.
Now we'll go with.
Go ahead.
Damian.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. The finishing of day on again. 2 goals. What did you see out of his night? He sort of, as you guys got into the game, he sort of picked up his level of activity in the second half.
Yeah, it's for strikers, when the team is chasing and defending and not able to recover the ball in good areas, and then you're starting attacks from deep a lot, it's difficult to get strikers involved in the game and to give them some clarity as to where they really need to be moving and to have an impact. So I thought the first half, it was challenging for him to really be impactful, even though I think we had a chance or two in the first half. I still think it's difficult for the forward to be impactful if you can't recover the ball in positive areas and you can't build and create some clarity of movement and things are just slow. And so I think the second half he came into the game because things were a lot more dynamic, starting with our pressure, starting with where we recovered the ball, the fact that we were transitioning and playing forward pretty quickly. When we do that and when we were better at that, there was gaps for him to run through and the timing of when he can move and the actions becomes a lot clearer when things are more proactive as they were in the second half versus where we were through good stretches of the first half. So he's proven that that's when he's at his best. Again, he's a guy he works for spaces inside of the box, and if he can face the goal, he can put things away. And so I think we were able to create some of those opportunities for him in the second half, and it was great for him to get 2 more goals. He's been a guy who's certainly on a confident run, and that's what goal scoring is about, is being confident and getting your opportunities, and he's been able to do that.
Now we'll go with Josh Guessman.
Hey, Greg, thanks for taking the call. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on, if you go back and look at, the Dallas game, the Houston game, Minnesota game, these are all games you guys are losing 3-0 at halftime. Is there a propensity for this club, you think, to slip into those negative reactions whenever you're giving up goals, because they seem to come in spurts?
Yeah, I think one of the things I think for me that I challenge the group on is the reaction against things when things don't go well. It's the leadership and the positivity to bounce back. Things happen inside of games, and you can't prevent everything. But when something happens, there still needs to be a positive reaction. That positive reaction means get right back into the game, get back on the horse, and start playing again, and start getting yourself forward, and not feeling sorry for yourself or losing confidence or going in the hole or anything like that. When we gave up the first goal, there's still a lot of game left. There's a lot of game left for us to play negative and to make a mistake. And I don't think any of the guys want to. I just think that, again, that's where we need to step in as a group on the field, and within on the field, we need to again take a more positive stance in that situation, and again play the ball forward and try to build momentum off of the kickoff instead of backwards square, lose the ball, goal against us. So I certainly think that's something this group needs to build at, is that maturity on that side of things, which is also leadership inside of the field and direction from the group, and things that we talked about after the game. I acknowledged those exact games and those exact moments to the group after the game. Yeah, go ahead.
With Douglas Costa, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. With Douglas Costa sort of continuing his form, he had a good second half in that Minnesota game, obviously got suspended at the end of it. Now he comes back into this game. What did you see from him in his second half there?
I thought he came on, he was dynamic, he was beating players, and when you can beat players, you change the picture. It opens up other guys, it opens up new spaces, it opens up new runs. It's what our team has and what we've been looking for 2 years, is that somebody who can eliminate the first defender, because it changes the whole attacking picture. And obviously he's capable of doing that, but he's also capable of the quality on the final pass and obviously some of the deceptive stuff that he does when he gets coming across and the way he plays off the defenders. You see how many guys he attracts over to him when he gets the ball, which opens up spaces, it opens up other guys, and that helps other guys to be more dangerous as well. But I thought he came on with real purpose. I thought he came on and showed that he is, as I've been saying, he physically is feeling a lot better, which I think mentally means he's in a better spot. I think he's integrating into the group better. Now it's just about getting continuing to get his match fitness up so that he can impact the game like that for 90 minutes and not 30 or 45 or anything like that, but to get him ready to be a difference maker for 45 minutes or for 90 minutes. If he can do that, that's going to change our team as well. That's something that we haven't really had over this last 18 months or so. Uncertain. We'll see how the next couple of days go, but it's Yeah, I'm not in control of that one. That one's a different, there's a different entity in control of stuff like that. That's not me. I don't even know where to go with it because it's not really something that we control or they control. It's something that time controls and their health controls. So I don't really know how to answer that, Scott. Sorry. Yeah, thank you.